Hi guys, welcome to Tech Library of Empowerment Initiative. We just had a very interesting section with someone that was very resourceful, Mr. Eddie, all the way from UK, and was able to give us a very insightful experience today with some of the questions that Mr. Ben asked him on this wonderful channel. So guys, we have two wonderful teenagers here. They are tech diplomats. We have Ms. Joy and Mr. Emmanuel. So we're going to be asking them questions about what they learned because they were in the studio when this section was going on, and it was really an honest and insightful conversation with Mr. Eddie. And I believe for many of us, it wasn't just a talk; it was an eye opener. So we're going to get right into it now. Based on this conversation that we just had, Mr. Emmanuel, can you just tell us what stood out for you in this conversation? What stood out for you?
What stood out for me then in the conversation is where he was talking about skill over skin color. Yes, the skill over skin.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Joy, what do you have to say about that?
Okay.
Can you help us understand that? What does it mean?
Skill over skin simply, in my own understanding, simply means that as far as you have the skill that they need, or the skill that will take you to a place, to a greater height, irrespective of where you are, your background, your skin color, you will definitely be valued. So skill comes first before your skin tone.
Oh, that's wonderful. So, yeah, in the course of this conversation, I know I was behind the camera, but I was just hearing a lot of deep, and stuff like that. So, Mr. Emmanuel, can you just list out three things that you learned from this wonderful conversation based on why we're trying to compare the life in UK and the life in Nigeria? Like what Mr. Eddie was able to help us understand a lot of the difference between the two different lifestyle. Can you just help us list out three things you learned? Like looking at you being in Nigeria, you've been in Nigeria for a very long time. What are those three things that stood out for you? What did you learn from this video?
The first one is when he was talking about you don't have to go to university. It's not a must you go to university before you pursue your career.
Okay.
Like maybe you have just decided not to go to university, you can just go into your career and you have the full support from the government.
Okay.
And the second one is in the school curriculum they based on practical knowledge.
Okay.
It's not like Nigeria where we based on theory. And the third one is but he was also talking about the school, that there is a good teacher to student relationship. That teacher do have time for student there more than so they have time to pay attentive to their students.
Okay.
Yeah.
Emmanuel, that's wonderful. So based on what you've said, I think you just raised a strong case that it's not the criteria, like it's not going to university is not the criteria for someone to be successful, which is the first point. So now you are done with your secondary school. What would you have to say? Is this something, are you looking forward to going to university? Like what do you have to say about after this mindset shift that you just had from Mr. Eddie that just left the studio?
If it's not a must I go to someone goes to university to be in pursuit of their career. And I just finished my secondary school, right? And I don't think it's a must I go to the university. Most parents see that is a must for you to pursue a career, but it's not a must. Yes, you can also pursue your career even here in Nigeria without going to university. For my own mindset.
That's wonderful. Guys, for some of you watching these videos right now, this is just a recap of a video that was dropped on this channel before now. If you have not watched it, kindly track back to see the video. How we had a very resourceful person, that is in person of Mr. Eddie, and he came, and it was really exciting. In fact, the moment was filled with so much talk, discussion, and we were able to hit so much like we just did a lot of questioning and answering, but we did, like, he was able to give us so many case scenario about the different lifestyle, like he's comparing UK and Nigeria. Ms. Joy, now let me ask you this: like, if you had to name this conversation, if you had to give it a title, what would you think would be best for this wonderful conversation we just had that you listened to?
It will be the stark contrast between Nigeria and abroad. Yes, that would be the title.
Okay, that's wonderful. If I like, we want to know, why did you choose that title? Why did you choose that title?
Because I chose it because the conversation was based on the differences between Nigeria here and UK over there, and what we can do, the problems faced, the solutions, the consequences, and what exactly we can do to balance these two together. Yes, that's why I chose that.
Wow, that's a wonderful response. So you mentioned the differences. What are those differences you're making mention of? Let's have it. Okay.
First of all, just like Mr. Emmanuel said, where you don't have to go to school to pursue your career. You don't have to go to the university to pursue your own career. And then talking about the library part, where you have to have a library card. It is important. And over here, they have libraries at every place. Unlike here where we don't even have a library in a state. We don't have one in a community. And the part we also talked about what you need to study, like what jobs we push aside over here that they are not important. You don't need to have, like, those careers they push aside, but over there they value it more. And the other part where he mentioned skill set over skin tone. Yes.
That's wonderful. Wow, Mr. Emmanuel, what do you have to say about learning a skill? Like, I think he made mention of the fact that outside the country, everybody's on the same level. There's a leveler system. That is, you don't get to look down on anybody, on anybody's profession. You don't get to feel like I'm a doctor, so you feel like you're less. What do you have to say about that?
Yes, I will agree with him, because everyone is doing well with their job. So your career, I don't think you don't underestimate your career that this one is low. Always, make yourself important. It also make you feel important that you are not doing any other job, that you are doing a very good job. So it will help us, also help someone, it will motivate someone that is doing any kind of job. It won't, underestimate your job.
It also help us to be contented with what we are doing. That's wonderful. So now, Ms. Joy, at the start of the conversation, Mr. Eddie mentioned something. So I would like to know, based on your own understanding, from what you've heard, what do you think Nigeria does well and we don't really appreciate from what he said? What's that thing that we do very well that we don't really appreciate here in this country compared to the UK lifestyle? Because that was the first question we asked him today. Like, do you know the changes he noticed when he got back to Nigeria? So now, based on what he said, what's that thing you feel like Nigerians are great at that we don't really appreciate?
The parts where you mentioned Nigerians are smart.
Okay.
Yes, that was what, when I heard it, I was like, okay, at that moment, I was proud to be a Nigerian. Let me use that word. When you mentioned Nigerians are smart, and when Nigerians get over there, they don't see them as people that they want to scam or something. Instead, they see them as competitors, because when Nigeria comes into that sector, Nigerians will definitely try their best, work hard, work smart to take over, to be the best at that particular field. And that was something that, yes, I really loved. I loved it, yes.
So do you believe in it?
I do believe in it.
So you believe we are smart people?
Yes, we are smart.
Talking about being smart, one of the things, because in Tech Library of Empowerment Initiative, you guys have been exposed to a lot of tech skill, talking about working on Upwork and Fiverr, Emmanuel and Joy. So now I would like to know, like, we do have this discrimination when it comes to, like Emmanuel mentioned at the beginning of this meeting, that we value skill over skin. So what do you have to say about this mentality when it comes to the fact that Nigerians have been seen as people that are scammers? Like Joy said now that we are smart based on what he said. So do you really think we are scammers, or do you think it's a misconception? Is it something you agree? Because Mr. Eddie said, it's just a mindset, and it's not everybody that conceives something like that about Nigeria. So do you think what he said, do you agree with what you said, or you think is not true? What do you have to say about that? That is seen everybody as scammers in Nigeria because of the color of our skin and stuff.
No, I don't agree to that.
Okay.
Not everybody is scammer in Nigeria. Okay. We all are trying to. I see like that the fact that we are trying to work hard to impress people so we could gain more position. That's what we are trying to do. Okay. So their mindset is seeing us like we are scammers and competitors. Okay. Though we are working up to impress them and give more positions. Yeah. That's what is happening.
Okay. So based on what you just said, Ms. Joy, like our former president, blessed memory, President Buhari, he said something about Nigerians, that we are lazy. Nigeria, like the youth in Nigeria, that are very lazy. So based on these conversations you had, Do you really agree to that fact that we're lazy or we don't have the support system, just the way Mr. Eddie mentioned so many things that can help us to thrive, to achieve that career growth that we really want to achieve? What do you have to say about that?
Well, I believe that if we have the structure, one, we have the motivation and support, definitely we'll work to achieve our goal, our dream goal, our aim. But when we find ourselves in a place where what we love doing and there's no structure, there is no aim, there is no support system, it's not like we are lazy. We just have to back down. Yes. When you don't have, you have a vision but there is no structure, you will definitely want to back down. But when you find the support system, and that's the reason why people want to leave the country, people want to jackpot, because when they go over there, they find the structures are there, everything is laid down, it is organized, and so they definitely work towards it to achieve their aim and goal.
Wow, that's wonderful. Talking about reading, this is something we're known for at Tech Library of Empowerment Initiative. I think Mr. Eddie mentioned that over there in UK, there are so many libraries and they even provide free internet connections and so many systems just to support people that are interested in reading. So now talking about this, let's say, Manuel, I think I'm going to ask you this question.
Okay.
If you happen to become the minister, or let's say you become the president of Nigeria, what will you do to try to make Nigerians try to read more books? Because from what he mentioned, I think they made provision for people that are interested in reading to have access to books, audiobooks, and different formats. So if you happen to be the president of Nigeria, or you happen to hold a particular public office, what's that exact thing that you think you are going to do? Because Mr. Eddie said, even in Nigeria, it's very difficult for someone to, because of distraction, there's no light, there's no this. He mentioned some things. So what's that thing you will try to do to make things different?
First of all, I'm going to work on the structure.
Okay.
Because if there's no structure, it will also affect you. It won't boost your mentality that I want to read. Part of the structure is like electricity, like traffic, no noise. Like there's no noise where there's cool, where everywhere is cool. Your brain cell will be set to read. You'll be relaxed and you'll be able to read. Yes, and after the structure is placed, and there will be library in every community. If I have the power, I'll create a library in every community or local government.
Okay, so do you think you agree with the fact that placing library will help change the mindset of some of our corrupt politicians and people in this country? Because I think at some point you mentioned that if you are being stopped by road safety or by traffic personnel, the first that comes to their mind is they'll be asking you how much you have to settle them for them to leave you for that penalty or for that traffic stuff that you broke. So is this something you think putting libraries or enacting all those different mind-changing doctrines is going to help change the mindset of our people, of our system? Is this something you agree with?
Yes, I agree with that, because I believe in books. There are many informations in it, and when we read books, it will change our mindset it will open our eyes to many things that we haven't seen, that is hidden. So maybe when the road safety have seen things that are hidden that they don't know, they'll be able to change their mindset that this thing is not right, and they'll start doing the right thing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Ms. Joy, this question is for you. During the course of the conversation, I think towards the end part of it, Mr. Ben asked Mr. Eddie that is he advising people to jackpot like this? Is he advising Nigerians to want to seek for a better life outside the country, knowing fully well that outside the country you get to have a perfect structure that helps you grow your career and your life in general? So now, I'm asking you this question personally. Do you think after hearing all those sweet things that you mentioned, that talking about the life outside the country, if you had the opportunity to leave this country now, will you leave this country?
To be honest, yes, I will.
Whoa, okay. Why?
Because over there, you have good working structures. Yes, that I would really, really love to leave. I would love to leave, at least to further my education. Yes, I would love to leave.
So you want to run away from the problem?
I don't want to run away.
Who's going to fix the problem in this country?
I will be like, okay, fine. I will be like Chimamanda, my role model. I will be like her, balancing US and
Who's
Nigeria.
Chimamanda, please?
Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, a popular Nigerian author.
Okay. Help us, like she writes book, right?
Yes, she's the author of Popular Hibiscus, Half of Yellow Sun, Dear Ijawele.
Wow, wonderful.
We should all be feminists, yes. And so I'll be like her, be balancing my work life with Nigeria over here, USA and Nigeria.
Okay.
Yes, it doesn't mean I'm running away. I'm going over there to see how they are doing things and coming here, seeing if it can work. If it can work, fine. If it can't.
So my question, based on what you just said now, it's not as if you want to escape.
No.
You just want to go there. But based on statistics, a lot of Nigerians that have this thinking before now that once they go outside, they just want to work for a while, end the month and just come back. But most of them don't come back. So what's the guarantee that you're going to come back?
When I have people that will force me to come back.
People like who?
I have my coach.
Okay.
Who will not...
Because from what he said, it doesn't look like someone that wants to escape.
Yes.
So, okay, you want to escape for a while and then...
Yes, escape for a while, get some knowledge about how they are doing things over there and come back here to put it in place.
Put it in place, how? I'd like to know.
Okay. If I'm making it strong.
Okay.
When I get there, I would understand the way they are doing things, especially the part of the library aspect, the school's curriculum. When I have that opportunity to go there and I gain because when I should go there and come back and there is no evidence to show that this person has has gained a certain level of experience, this person has proof, nobody will be ready to listen to you.
Wow.
Someone like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie now, she has been there, she is there, and when she comes here, you will know that someone of authority is speaking. Yes, and whatever she's saying, you would want to implement it because that was what helped her to be who she is. And so when I get there and I come back over here and I have certain level of proof, definitely I'll be able to change some things for good. Yes.
Okay, that's wonderful. So guys, despite the fact that I was behind the camera, I got a lot of things that really put me in a place of deep reflection. And because he mentioned something about the minimum wage being $12 per hour. This is something that even a full-grown Nigerian doesn't even earn in a single month. So now my question now for you, Mr. Emmanuel, is after listening to this conversation, after this reflection and everything, what responsibility do you think falls on you? I don't mean the government, not your teachers in school that are not going with the curriculum that can cause a change from thinking about just acting on the theory part and not doing the practical part. But what do you think you can do? What responsibility do you think falls on you to make changes in this country, in Nigeria? Because now we understand that not everybody needs to escape from this country. Like, we need a fix in this country. And definitely we are growing, just that our growth is being dragged, is slow. So what do you think? Like, what responsibility falls on you as a Nigerian now to try to fix the problem that we're going through?
Yes, the responsibility I'm going to try to fix in Nigeria is I'm going to gather, like, create new minds from other teenagers like me.
Okay.
Maybe from books, I can bring them to the library to change their mindset over things, because from what he said in the conversation, he said this our generation, with the Gen Z, we are going to change we are going to be the ones to change the mistakes that here in Nigeria. So when I try to influence other teenagers like me in a positive manner, it will be helpful for the society. This I've forgotten it really, that if there are many things, positive people are more in a negative, they are going to neutralize the negative ones. I read the book. Yes.
Okay. So that's wonderful. I love your response. I think I'm going to ask Ms. Joy this particular question. In Tech Library of Empowerment Initiative, we've established the fact that our environment can somehow affect our mindset. So now, talking about leaving this country, escaping and running away from the problem, do you think someone in Nigeria will do better than someone outside the country? Because we've established the fact that he said, according to Mr. Eddie, that he made it seem like going outside the country has helped him. So now, do you think it's a must for everybody to want to leave this country, for us to have, do you think it's a must for us to change the environment, for us to have a mindset shift? Or do you think it's possible to be in Nigeria and still consume books like we do in the library and can still have that mindset, mind shift without leaving the country?
You can, I think the best advice
Okay.
will be that staying in the country will help us more. Yes, because when you're in an environment, in that environment, you understand what is happening, you understand the problems, and you are looking for solutions. Because if you're out there, if you're abroad, you will be hearing the problems, but you will not have full experience about what is going on. So you here, you know what you're facing firsthand, you understand what you're going through, and you know what people over there they are enjoying. You having faced the experience firsthand, you know that in fact you won't want the next generation to go through what you're going through. So you try to, according to with what Mr. Emmanuel said, you try to build a team of great minds like you that would also change the country. Yes.
Wow, okay, that's wonderful. Mr. Emmanuel, what do you have to say concerning this mentality of everybody trying to claim rights in Nigeria? For instance, I think Mr. Eddie mentioned that once you bash or once you maybe run into someone's car, what happens in Nigeria is that you start exchanging words, start exchanging blows, you get involved in a physical brawl. So what do you have to say about like the energy we put into the wrong thing instead of using that energy to be productive as a Nigerian? Do you think we spend so much time on unnecessary things, we're about to spend so much time trying to be more productive? Like imagine two adults fighting in front of the road, like just because they bash into each other's car, like stuff like that. What do you have to say about this mentality? Like,
Yes, I would say Nigeria does that mostly. According to the book I read, the last book I read, the subtle art of not giving an F word.
okay,
I would say Nigeria give an effort to most things that
Okay.
are not important.
Okay.
Like we are not giving an effort to things that are important, that the positive things. We are just giving effort to the negative that is not even helpful, that is not important at all.
Okay.
And we are just wasting our effort to
Okay.
things that are not important. So
Okay.
we should try giving our effort, caring about the important things that are going to help our purpose, that are going to help us in life.
Okay, that's wonderful. Miss Joy, talking about having a positive mindset, we understand that in Nigeria, the system is just so, I won't use the word backward, but do you think as a Nigerian, like what book will you particularly recommend to those persons watching this video that can help us stay afloat, that can help us have this high level of positivity despite the fact that everything is kind of negative or like there's a drawback? So what do you have to recommend? Because we're talking about mindset shift. How do we change our mindset despite the fact that we're not outside there yet and we're still in Nigeria? What do you think about that?
3 books I would recommend.
Okay.
1, Think Big by Ben Carson. 2, The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale.
Okay.
And Mindset by Carol Dweck.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
That's wonderful. That's nice. So yes, guys, we've come to the end of this conversation. It has been a wonderful time between these two teenagers. It's a pleasure to be here, and personally, I learned a lot from this, from having Mr. Eddie on in the studio today. And yes, we promise to continue to work on some of the things that he was able to establish as an organization. And I think if you've not watched that video and you are not following our channel, kindly subscribe to our channel, turn on your notification to see more interesting videos like that. So Joy, do you have anything to say to them?
Bye, guys.